class resort conference center, then obviously we'd want to see that happen. Anytime we can give money to the county school systems, we want to see that happen. Anytime we can enhance workforce development and training with our community colleges system, and ours is Wallace State and Hanceville, we want to be able to see that happen instead of our talent being exported out of our county. There could be millions of dollars for our county commissioners on the road improvement if this particular bill passes and the particular bill comes together. Just so that everybody on the committee knows, just by passing this particular bill does not mean that this project is coming. All we're doing is prepping ourselves to allow it to come and be successful if it comes within Coleman County. SB 322 amends this particular law related to one community development district in Coleman County to establish and accomplish two things. One is to provide how the Board of Governors of this district is selected. And number two, to allow for the district to be annexed into a wet city within the county by petition of the Board of Governors and approval of the City Council. As we go forward, that's all this particular bill does. There's no amendment or anything on this particular bill. I do have some friends, or I thought they were friends, our county commissioners are here. I'd love for them to stand if that's okay, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
If you're a Coleman County chairman or the administrator, please stand at this time.
Stand and be recognized.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all for coming.
Mr. Chairman, I move favorable.
Okay.
Second.
All right. Butler. And then Weaver. Okay, if you will, call the roll.
Mr. Chair?
Yeah,
I
I'm sorry.
just want to make one comment.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you so much. To my pro tem, thank you for what you do for the state of Alabama. I do want to make you aware, if you are not already aware. I'm not trying to get involved in anybody's local issues, but I did get some phone calls today. And so just wanted to make you aware that there are some folks that, may want to talk to you, but.
They're the people I just introduced in the back.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for recognizing that fact.
Understood, Ms. Pro Tem.
All right, let's call the roll.
Senator Butler?
Aye.
Senator Cornley? Senator Chasteen?
Aye.
Senator Coleman?
Abstain.
Senator Figures? Senator Gavan? Senator Hatcher? Senator Hovey? Senator Kelly? Senator Melson? Senator Roberts? Senator Sessions?
Aye.
Senator Weaver? Senator Bell?
Aye. All right. Bill passes. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, committee, thank you for your time and consideration.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
What's the vote?
All right. SB 304, Senator Orr. And while you're walking, I'll say this on Senator Orr and Senator Smitherman. I know y'all have got a lot of work put into this. Appreciate the hard work y'all have done.
I brought my file to approve,
Well,
Mr. Chairman.
Let's keep it as brief as we can. We got a big calendar, but I know y'all
Okay.
put a lot of work into this. Thank you for what y'all were trying to do to move our state forward.
Thank you,
And
Mr.
for this,
Chairman.
I'll turn it over to you.
Okay. Given the chairman's admonishment, I'll just open for questions, or you want me to try to explain?
Give
that?
a quick explanation.
Okay. So this is the genesis from this file and a lot of other emails, and it started with recognizing a problem that we have in Alabama, and that and every state has it. The future is going to require more and more electrical production, and there are going to be a lot more electrical needs. This bill has nothing to do with production, with the generation of power. Not going to be into that, but it does have to do with transmissions and substations and all the infrastructure needed for said power and the delivery at a particular site. And when I say site, I mean a site as approved by the Department of Commerce, a project that's approved by the Department of Commerce. We're having entered into a project agreement, or a corridor per the Growth Alliance and these growth corridors that the future may bode well for a particular area. Now, there's an amendment that's brought by the co-ops and I think the munis as well, the small, not the big providers, but the distributors that's before you. That's a friendly amendment that I
Mr.
would
Chairman, I offer the amendment.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'd
tell
like to.
for a particular.
Make a motion
Explain
to
it, sir.
approve the
Now, there's an
amendment.
amendment that's
Like
brought
you
by
said,
the
he explained it, it's agreed upon amendment by the utilities.
Okay. Well, got a first, seconds. Kelly? All right. Got it. We got a good roll on it. All right, we're going to use previous roll unless anyone objects. Add. All right, now back to the amended, go ahead. Okay, go
Second.
ahead, Senator Gavan.
Thank you. So I don't know, I know we've got energy needs. I know we've lost some industry due to the ability to meet the needs of the industry because of energy, specifically in North Alabama. This is a pretty comprehensive bill, and I trust that it's not going to be on the calendar tomorrow, because if it is, Senator Jones is going to have company, because I'm just going to be reading it out there and talking about it. So,
I think that's impossible under our rules to be, it'd be a second reading.
Yeah, we got to
okay,
report it.
okay. You're correct about that. We're not on a 3-day week. All right, thank you.
All right. Anyone else? Go ahead.
If I could
Go
explain
ahead,
this
Senator
for
Orr.
the members,
Yes.
and I'll be brief. The bill does two things. One, it sets up we're calling it an energy infrastructure bank, which gives loans, not grants, but loans out for transmission lines, substations, et cetera. The other part is equipment. One of the problems we have when we have a project that wants to come and we're going to have to build a substation, some of the equipment, transformers, switches, some switches, not all, but sometimes it can take up to 4 years for delivery. Well, no project is going to wait 4 years on that. And there are programs out there that would allow the state or the CEDA board with control to secure the needed equipment out in the market, and then have it ready for particular projects. And I've been working with the McCrary Institute at Auburn on this, and there's certain groups that facilitate this. So all that to say, those are the two things: the equipment need and the quick loan, quick capital, particularly for the smaller muni or co-ops that need access to that capital to go build that $15 million substation that said project needs, and they've got to come up with the money quickly and make it all happen in short order. So hopefully it'll compress time. There are two more bills that are part of this. One of the funding bill Senator Smitherman has. He was very gracious enough to want to sponsor it. And then there's another one that Senator Carnley graciously has sponsored it, dealing with transmission lines and rights of way. And I hope the committee will take that up shortly as well.
Okay. All right. Got the first and second on the bill as amended. Previous roll. No objections. All right, you good with it? All right, thank you, Senator Orr.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. And if you have any questions, feel free to pull me aside, and I'll certainly do all I can to get you an answer as quickly as possible. Thank you.
SB 313, Senator Smitherman. You remember what I said earlier?
I
Quick,
did.
simple.
I did.
Over. Okay,
I think you've been-
I'm just checking on you.
And I think you know I've been here long enough that I know how to follow instructions.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, that's all. I'm gonna give you the short version, and then I'll take the long questions if necessary.
Okay.
What this bill does is provides opportunity to get the revenue from the Alabama 21st century. The first amount of revenue it will transfer will be $50 million from the 21st Century Fund and this into the infrastructure bank. And at that point, that money can be drawn down on based on these infrastructure projects you just heard our chair talk about. In addition, also the bill would transfer $10 million for the Alabama Incentive Financial Authority for the fiscal year of September 30, 2026. And then this in itself would also provide the necessary funds. There's going to be, I'm asking the committee, to pass it today, but there's going to be a substitute coming from the Commerce Department, because what they have to have the ability to do is because if you, and I know all y'all know this, when you have existing bonds toward the end, you've got to pay those bonds off.
Right.
And then you move into that. And the $10 million is dealing with the paying the bonds off. And the $50 million is there for the energy infrastructure whenever that takes place.
Yeah.
So,
And I understand there was a sub. They found an error right before we started meeting.
That's right.
So there'll be a new sub coming. They, thank goodness they found that error right before we started meeting. So that's why that sub is in your packet, but we're not going to deal with that sub today. So Senator Roberts. Butler for second. and use previous roll unless there's any objection. You did a really good job in a short amount of time.
I told you I can follow instructions. Thank y'all.
All right. HB 320, Representative Pringle. And I know there's been a lot of hard work put into this one, the Senate and House working together, and I really appreciate what y'all have done on getting this bill to where it's at.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, this is a bill that's kind of a combination of two different bills. It's worked on by the Law Institute and the Press Association. Everybody's worked together. I'm going to explain just the bill, and I think Senator Elliott's got a substitute that adds some stuff to it. But what it's doing is just creating a safe harbor for these contracts when government entities let bids, where they can advertise in the paper, but they can also put in the newspaper's website and make sure that they can always proceed with the bill. It kind of gives them multiple ways to advertise in case something goes, and it protects the contractors and it allows the public to reach in and see what we're offering for bid, because we add this new. I think this is what the amendment's going to address is a new website through finance.
Senator Gavan.
Is the amendment going to be offered on the floor or today?
Right here.
Or sub?
Okay. He's going to clarify the website through finance where they're going to advertise these bids.
All right. Senator Elliott.
See, all you need is two Chris's, and one in the House, and one in the Senate, and
I'm not so sure we want to go there.
Gentlest, most affable people they can find. And
You walked up and Representative Pringle's running. Go ahead, Senator.
So, Senator Gavan, to your point, I think Senator Sessions has the substitute to be offered in committee. But as Representative Pringle said, there's been a lot of work that's gone into this from the Law Institute, ALDOT, the road builders, the Press Association, our folks in LSA, Finance Department, et cetera. And the goal with the sub is to maintain the requirement that you advertise in the newspapers to the extent that there's one available. But as we see, things are changing, right, as it relates to newspapers. So that requirement is still there that you advertise in the newspaper, but there is also now created a website under the Department of Finance that allows you to also simultaneously advertise. And if there is some error in publishing, and we have seen that has really messed up some public works contracts where there's been some error in publishing, it grants essentially a safe harbor if you publish in one of these other areas as well. And so you shall try, or you shall advertise in the paper, but if there's a problem with that for whatever reason, you can still move forward with the bid. It also preserves what the County Commission Association has set up that we authorized under rebuild, and what the municipalities have set up as well. It also continues to allow ALDOT to advertise using their website as well. And so agreed upon sub.
Mr. Chairman, I move to
Senator
adopt the
Sessions.
sub.
All right. Sessions. Gavan. All right. Any questions on the sub? All right. Use previous roll unless there's any objections. All right. Now we're on to the bill as substituted. Butler.
Second.
Chastain. I'm slowing down a little bit before she throws her ink pen at me over here. All right. And we'll use previous roll unless there's any objections. Thank you.
Thank you, members. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Representative Pringle.
Thank you, Representative Pringle.
Ms. Chair, if you don't mind, supported the bill. Some folks came to talk to me prior to about the sub, which was helpful, but I know we're rocking and rolling now. But I like to see the thing. So, at all costs, I guess it's for me, if we can get something to me in writing so I want to be true to what I've always
I'm
said.
good
I
with
need
that.
to know what I'm voting on.
Yeah, I'm good with that, and we'll make sure.
Thank you, Ms. Chair.
All right. HB 263, Representative Oliver.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and committee. This is a bill that seeks to find a way to disburse 911 funds that are collected by the state. In Alabama, we have a monthly fee that is collected from telephone service providers, and it funds the delivery of 911 services throughout the state. This money is sent directly to local 911 districts to fund day-to-day operations, but roughly 20% of these funds remain with the state 911 board and is set aside in what is commonly referred to as the cost recovery fund. when it was set up, it was to maintain a fund to cover technological cost and things that have changed over the years. So what this bill attempts to do is, since we don't have the same costs that we used to have, this is a way to send this money back to those 911 boards and let them be used for new equipment or day-to-day operations or things these boards decide they want to do with it. And it's roughly 20%, so it's a significant amount of money. And right now, the law just simply doesn't allow for unused cost recovery funds to be directed toward local level needs. So we want to establish a process for cost recovery funds to better serve 911 districts and to clarify how these funds can be utilized. This legislation specifically provides for cost recovery funds to be used as follows. Cover the cost for required training and certification of local public safety telecommunicators, to cover costs for advisory services provided to districts, to create a grant program for districts demonstrating financial hardship, and to be distributed equally among Alabama's 85 existing 911 districts. And I'll be glad to answer your questions.
All right, and I know y'all, along with some 911 boards that have come to the office yesterday, I know y'all put a lot of work into this, and it goes back to some other things that we earmark, and then as times change, we've got money sitting somewhere we got to do something with, and I appreciate you working on this with 911 groups, and always if we've got any questions. Senator Weaver for favorable. We have a second. Senator Butler for second. We use previous roll, and there's any objections. All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Our next will be HB 355. Representative Bedsole, I'm going to carry that for him, and all that does is move the claims with the Alabama Crime Victims Compensation Commission from a 1-year to a 2-year statute where they give 2 years for a claim to be filed, and I'll ask for a favorable and a second on that. All right, Gavan and Kelly. And we'll use previous roll unless there's any objections. All right, HB 461, Representative Almond. The floor is yours. We're going pretty good. Don't mess us up now.
I'll try to do my part. If you can do your part, that'll be good. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. This is HB 461, which I am bringing on behalf of Alabama Public Television, or really more specifically, Alabama Educational Television Foundation Authority that supports APT. You know, the governor's office and the legislature have encouraged APT over the years to increase their efforts to secure funds outside of our state funding so that they're not so dependent on state funding for their growth and continued growth. And so this bill takes a step towards that. Basically, what it will allow them to do is to lobby, and what they plan to do is lobby on the federal level, which they currently cannot seek federal funding without that. So that's what this bill would do.
Senator Chastain for favorable. Senator Weaver second. Previous roll unless there's any objections. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. I'm going to hold Senator Singleton is tied up somewhere. I'm going to hold him. If you get the public hearings roll. All right. HB 529, Representative Faulkner, and then we're going to have a public hearing after that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members. The purpose of this bill is to remove illegal vape products from store shelves across Alabama. It is estimated that 80 to 85% of the vape products currently sold in this state are illegal. They're not listed on the state registry. Despite the existence of the vape directory managed by the Alabama Department of Revenue, illegal sales remain a significant issue. Currently, there is no dedicated funding or enforcement mechanism to take these illegal vape products out of our shelves. This bill grants the Alabama ABC Board authority to establish a new licensing fee to support field enforcement. It will establish a single statewide tax rate to streamline wholesaler tax payments and avoid unfair advantages among retailers. It imposes a tax of 0.10 per milliliter on vape products. And this has nothing to do with the sales tax that is on these products. The tax revenue shall be distributed as follows under this bill: 50% to the general fund, 25% to counties, and 25% to municipalities, and that's based on population. The licensing and penalties will align with existing requirements for tobacco sellers who fail to obtain a tobacco account, meaning the penalties are the same. Reporting and penalties will follow the model of the wholesaler to retailer accountability program, with monthly returns due to the Alabama Department of Revenue by the 20th of each month. So violations may result in business closure and prosecution by the Attorney General, and the ABC Board and law enforcement officers will have the authority to confiscate untaxed vape products. As of 2025, 32 U.S. states, the District of Columbia, and Puerto Rico impose taxes on vape products. Rhode Island plans to implement a tax beginning January 1st, 2025. And these states that do this include Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, and I believe Florida. We're behind the curve in both taxation and enforcement compared to much of the nation. And so that is why I have brought this bill, and I would appreciate your utmost consideration.
Okay. We're going to have a public hearing. Proponent Ashley Lyerly, okay. If you'll come up, you have 2 minutes. Once you start talking, we'll start the clock. Just please keep it to 2 minutes.
Sounds good. Good afternoon, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to provide some comments. My name is Ashley Lyerly, Senior Director of Advocacy for the American Lung Association. We are a strong advocate for proven tobacco control policies as we work to promote lung health and prevent lung disease. In our most recent State of Tobacco Control report, Alabama received all F grades for our state's tobacco prevention and control policies. I certainly wouldn't want my child coming home with that report card. This includes our tobacco tax rate. We're grateful to Representative Faulkner for bringing this bill, as we ultimately have the same goal of ensuring that Alabama youth do not have access to these products through strong pricing strategies to ensure that they are not affordable for our youth, and we are able to enforce existing and future laws that will hold retailers accountable. The Lung Association supports taxing all tobacco products, including e-cigarettes and other nicotine products, at levels equal to the cigarette tax, and requiring a comprehensive licensing program for all tobacco products. The proposed 10 cents per milliliter tax, unfortunately, will not have a significant public health benefit to reduce youth initiation and use of e-cigarette, and will likely not generate a substantial revenue source for the general fund. We certainly would want to see a higher tax. The Lung Association is supportive of establishing retail license fees to help support enforcement. They should be applied evenly to all tobacco products, not just e-cigarettes and alternative nicotine products. We would love to see the bill amended to include a comprehensive licensing program that applies to all tobacco products in the same way. It provide clarity to all stakeholders, make enforcement easier, and allow the ABC Board and ALEA to better target bad actors. We look forward to future conversations with Representative Faulkner and many of you as we work to ensure Alabama kids do not have access to these products. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Good job on the time.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee, for allowing me to speak today. My name is Joe Farrell. I own a chain of vape stores from the Alabama Gulf Coast up to northeast Alabama. I've been in the vape industry for 10 years. I want to thank Representative Faulkner for bringing this bill. It's a good bill, except for a few issues that will severely affect my stores. Number one is the tax on this is 10 cents per milliliter of e-liquid. If I can show you our main bottle we sell is a 100 milliliter bottle. This will be $10 taxed at 10 cents a milliliter. That'll go from a $20 bottle of e-liquid to a $30 bottle of e-liquid. On this tax, on cigarette tax in Alabama is 0.67 cents per pack of cigarettes. This will be $10 tax on this one bottle. Sales will go down severely in my stores if this is taxed at $10 a bottle, and so will tax money coming in. Second issue we have is in 2021, an alternate back piece of legislation was passed in Alabama that bans synthetic nicotine and e-liquids in Alabama. Alabama is the only state that says you have to use Big Tobacco's nicotine to make e-liquids. you cannot sell e-liquids in Alabama that has synthetic nicotine. So that goes back to what's illegal on the shelves. It's not on the registry because you can't use synthetic nicotine in Alabama. Synthetic nicotine is in 80% of all e-liquids made nowadays. And the third thing was the registry. We can't get products on the registry because we're not allowed to use synthetic nicotine. We have to use tobacco nicotine. Any questions?
Any questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, Ross Gunnels. Ross is a proponent.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, my name is Ross Gunnels. I represent the Alabama Wholesale Distributors Association. We distribute products to retailers across the state and have for generations. Just a couple things, we are supportive of this legislation. One of the biggest problems we see is that, you all decided to define what products were able to be sold in Alabama stores, what products, and those have to be on the registry that we've talked about. It is estimated, as Representative Faulkner said, that approximately 80 to 85% of a vape category that you'll find on a retail shop in Alabama is not on that registry. We find that a problem. My wholesalers will not, sell to Alabama stores any products that are not on the registry. So, we feel like enforcement is a big issue. We're supportive of enforcement of the laws of Alabama as they stand. The other thing is we are also going to be in the business of collecting this tax for the state as we do with tobacco. And so the having a streamlined taxation system is important. And therefore, we worked with the League of Municipalities, the Association of County Commissions on some of their issues. I think we're all in a good place there, and as well as many other groups, to include the Alabama ABC Board. The Department of Revenue was consulted on this legislation. Worked with the Petroleum Convenience Marketers Association, Tobacco Manufacturers, Grocers Association, and so forth. So anyway, we are supportive of this legislation. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, any questions? Representative Faulkner? Do we have any questions?
Well, and Mr. Chairman, I thought I heard two of the speakers. One said the tax need to be higher, and one said it need to be lower. So that might mean I have it right.
That means that's kind of like a divorce.
No,
You may have it right. I don't know. All right, any questions? Senator Van for favorable. Do we have a second? Second. All right, session second. Any objection to using previous role? All right, thank you, Representative Faulkner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members.
All right, we're going to go back because the man has arrived. SB 315. Now, Senator Singleton, we've been on a roll. Don't mess it up now. Everybody's been really good. We even kept Smitherman to less than a minute and a half.
I move for favorable report.
Not that quick.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Under the existing law, under 315, the Alabama 21st Century Authority can issue bonds that help with economic development. This bill is a bill that's coming for commerce. They're looking for $5 million out of the Alabama 21st Century Fund that will help with their international office, the rural development strategies, and to set up for other personal causes. And that's basically what the bill does. It's about $16 million that has to be left in that fund to pay other interests and fees. And so that's what the bill.
We have a favorable and we have a second. Gavan. And Butler. All right. Anybody got any questions? Anybody object to using previous role? All right. Let's see if you can do that fast with the next one.
I don't know about this next one.
I know, we got a little talking.
Yeah.
It's SB 318.
Yes. This bill seeks to grant repairs offers to replace and to offer a refund for covered properties that is operationally or functionally failing. This, we're talking about service contracts. This bill will require that when advertising a service contract, that when the information is disclosed, that there's a right to a refund in the amount less than the provider's cost to repair or replace the said property. This bill will provide for the limitation, exceptions, and exclusion of service contracts that must be disclosed. Lastly, this bill seeks to make non-substantive technical changes and updating the existing code language in this style. It comes under terms of this bill, under 39-160 of the code. I think there's an amendment to this bill that's being bought by the cable industry, the phone industry, based on contracts of something that we passed back in the 70s that said that they were basically didn't have to provide. You have that amendment?
It's in the packet. It's in our packet. It's the last amendment we have. It be off onto the right of your packet. There was the stack of amendments.
And we're receiving it as a friendly amendment.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Kelly, Chastain. All right.
Yes,
Got it. We've got it. All right. We're going to use previous roll on the amendment unless there's any objections. Has everybody got the amendment? I'll give objections. See, you didn't mess it up.
Thank you, Mr. Committee.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Chairman, thank you, committee.
All right. And I just saw a suit walk in, and I don't know if I can get away with that. We expect to pass, but be held, and we expect a sub at some point on the Senate floor. But we're going to get this bill and put it with where all the other bills are, and all the senators that have filed these bills have been working on the sub along with other
psychoactive cannabinoid products known as Delta-8, Delta-9, and THC-infused water, vape products, and other smokables. Basically what this bill does, and we passed it out of the House last week, licensed and enforced ABC and Aaliyah limit the amount of THC to 5 milligrams per gummy, individually wrapped, or 5 milligrams to the THC-infused water or the drinks. That also prohibits the sale of inhalables such as the flower, the plant itself, the vape, anything that is smokable that you see. And with that, I have a tax rate of 7% on it, and I'll be glad to answer any questions. But banning one without the others, like trying to ban vodka and forgetting about moonshine. So
Okay.
I'll be glad to answer any questions.
We'll have let's have the public hearing first, and then we'll get you back up for any questions.
Thank you, Mr.
That's
Chairman.
okay. All right. Mitch Hungerpiller. All right. Hello, Mitch. How are you doing this afternoon?
Hello, Mr. Chairman. First of all, thank you for having me up here. I want to set my clock. Okay, we ready?
Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, members of the distinguished committee, thank you so much for taking the issue of responsible legislation for hemp-derived products in the state of Alabama. Like we just heard, there's guardrails that need to be put on, but just like on highways, there's different speed zones, there's different purposes for guardrails. We have apples and oranges, and a lot of the analysis of hemp in the 2018 Farm Bill, it allowed and opened the door for research, development, and capital investment into a multi-billion-dollar industry. Many of the Alabama citizens invested hundreds of millions of dollars responsibly over the last 6 years I being one of them. I'm a CPA father, been married 30 years and have 3 overachieving children. And I am very, very concerned and very, very supportive of at least some form of regulation. However, I do not support in the way that this bill is presently written. I think that you're comparing, like was just mentioned, you're having control of ABC versus or 21 and over versus grocery stores, which do support and do sell to only 21 and over. So it ought to be beer and wine versus a liquor. And you can have one governing body that does that. But if this bill is passed the way it is, it's going to affect over $100 million in current small business revenue and the taxes, and it's going to bankrupt over 1,000 small businesses. And in grocery stores, you're going to have 20 and 30-foot sections of their store shelves emptied. And we are all for responsible legislation. So please, as my 99-year-old mother-in-law said, please ask these lawmakers to support enterprising, innovative small business efforts in a responsible way.
Good timing. And I'll answer as what you said, this bill, it will not be this bill. I do expect changes to be made in the Senate.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to show this is a muscle rub here that people use to prevent surgery. It's endorsed by many orthopedic surgeons, and that would be thrown out in the way it's currently written.
Thank you. And I'm not sure maybe Parker last name? Okay, sorry. I know who you are. I couldn't read sorry about that.
First name is John.
Yes.
Good afternoon, guys. My name's John. I'm excited to hear that there's going to be a sub coming in, taking all these considerations of the four bills that have gone through this committee. I am a retailer from Birmingham, Alabama. I was the first store in Birmingham. So I've been doing this for a minute and have studied this as my career. And it's been nice to see how this has gone since the first time I came here in 2014 for Carly's Law, all the way up to drafting legislation to be a responsible vendor, which is the theme of these conversations. And I drafted SB 66 to put an age limit on there. So there are many stores like me that want to do the responsible thing, self-govern itself. And we do want regulation. My store is 21 and up. We scan IDs. We buy organic products, and there are many like me that will, with some of these aspects of these four bills, will put them out of business. And there's some aspects in these bills that will encourage a black market growth, where you are going to have a completely unregulated industry, because adults who are buying the largest commodity of cannabis products can't settle on a milder hemp. They have to go and buy a stronger marijuana that has all this fentanyl and meth and all this stuff. I have studies from Indiana University that confirms that. Instead of having a regulated vodka, we will have a unregulated moonshine, as the senator proposed. So we don't want moonshine. We want a responsible way to handle this. Thank you, guys.
Senator Roberts has a question.
Yes, sir.
How do you get synthetic THC and be organic? Maybe that's two separate topics.
It sure is, and not part of this conversation. I stand with banning synthetics totally, because otherwise it violate federal law. So that's not really an issue.
I kind of agree with you on that part for sure.
Absolutely.
So tell me about
different federal.
Please.
Yeah, I use vendors that send test results of heavy metals and share with me how their growing techniques, for instance. Some things that have been processed, like Mr. Hungerpill's drinks, I know that they're doing this in a correct way. And there's a lot of bad products out there in the United States. And with responsible legislation, we can prohibit bad products going to the inevitable users of cannabis products and keep them in hemp and not strong, dangerous marijuana.
So would it be USDA certified organic? I'm trying to.
I believe this question has been addressed with y'all before. So no, it would be done through the state of Alabama approving third-party labs. The USDA, as I thought you are aware of, does not handle that aspect at all. They don't want to. They don't handle it. Period.
Senator Melson.
Thank you.
So how do you certify yours as organic?
My labs are DEA certified labs, so their heavy metal testing has been approved by.
So you got a pure product, but you're saying it's organic. You're just assuming the guy who sells you the product.
Well, I've also third party tested myself, and that's not a very difficult aspect to make.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
I know you send it off to a lab, and the lab's telling you coming back pure, but I'm just saying.
Well, they would lose their DEA certification, which is very difficult to get if they were lying about soil samples, which would not be the biggest thing to lie about.
Yeah, I think you meant FDA. You said
The FDA, DEA certified labs. So
DEA certified labs.
Yes, and yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
But if you'd like me to explain further, I'd be more than happy to.
No, I was just trying to learn something, but I got more confused.
So sorry. Yeah, so the
behind.
DEA has worked with laboratories that test potency tests to make sure that these, all these
I get all
concerns.
that. I'm just worried about the certification of, or you're saying it's being organic. I can understand pure, but it doesn't matter. Thank you.
There's like a list of 100 heavy metals that can be tested for, and
all right.
I opt for this.
I just want to say thank you. I know we've met a couple times, me, you, and Senator Smitherman.
Yes, sir.
You go above and beyond what the law requires for at your store. We appreciate what you do for your community.
Yes, sir.
All right,
and happy to work with y'all.
Right,
thank you very much.
Cheers. All right, Molly Cole.
Thanks.
I know you're tired of talking to us, Molly.
No,
I'm
actually,
sorry.
I'll talk to y'all all day long. I hope y'all are doing well and having a good week so far. I'm also going to start my clock so I don't run out of time. All right. Well, I want to say thank y'all for the opportunity to speak today. For those who do not know me, my name is Molly Cole. I represent the Alabama Hemp and Vape Association. I have a bachelor's degree in psychology, sociology, and legal studies, a master's of science in criminal justice, and a master of arts in restorative justice. And I actually graduate in 3 short weeks with a master's in social work. So I know the goal behind these hemp bills, especially with HB 445, is to protect Alabama children. And I deeply respect that intention. But the hemp bills moving through this session won't just regulate the hemp industry, it will effectively shut it down. While it doesn't explicitly ban products, the restrictions it proposes would be so severe that most manufacturers and retailers couldn't afford to comply with that and would be forced out of business. And so when these legal businesses close, the products don't disappear, they just move underground. So that's where the real danger begins. If kids can't access regulated products from the stores that are tested and safe, then those products are going to just lead to dangerous additives, and that can include fentanyl. So these aren't scare tactics, they're reality. Taking hemp products out of a controlled system doesn't make them less accessible, it just moves them underground and makes them more dangerous. So I also want to ask that we take a broader view of the momentum behind these bills. Senator Coleman Madison once said that the legislation often comes with ulterior motives, and in this session we've seen examples of that firsthand. Some of the very firms that were once paid to lobby for private prison companies have now consulted on legislation that would criminalize large portions of the hemp supply chain, targeting not just products but people. And this hasn't just happened in Alabama. Across the country, states are pushing restrictive hemp bills that are expanding private prison infrastructure. And it's not just a coincidence, it's a pattern. So we need a willingness to slow down. We need to do this the right way. We need to ask the right questions and to understand the long-term impact. So let's figure out what's benefiting when we do these bills. Are we benefiting are we benefiting the products when we're penalizing criminals, or are we taking away legal alternatives that are going to make this industry a little more difficult to deal with?
Thank you, Molly.
I went over my time, I'm sorry.
You're good. I knew you were close to finishing, so anybody have any questions?
That time got my words messed up.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Roger Crawford. I'll let you ask Representative Witt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I've been driving 1,200 miles every week fighting 12 bills in 2 states. I want to thank Mr. Witt for bringing this to the attention. I truly believe that Alabama has a opportunity here to be the shining city on the hill. In one of the hearings, a question was asked, what states do we look to for guidance? And there is no state to look to. I couldn't wait to get back to Alabama because we've truly had a seat at the table here with the lawmakers. I've been in a bare knuckle fight up in Arkansas for the last week, and so it was comforting to come back to a capital that welcomes us to the table, and that's truly what it's going to take to get legislation. My name is Roger Crawford, and I appreciate the opportunity to address you today. I'm here today to oppose HB 455 as written, as it will hurt small businesses, farmers, and consumers. I represent the largest brick-and-mortar CBD franchise in the United States. Over the past 6 years, my wife and I have dedicated ourselves to the industry, accumulating over 20,000 hours of experience within our 3 retail stores. Through our efforts at SunMed, we have positively impacted the lives of more than 2 million individuals, helping them embrace a more holistic approach to their well-being. SB 445, as written, is effectively a backdoor ban as it is crafted as a regulatory bill. With its excessive demands, it will force my business and other businesses to close in Alabama. To reform the industry and safeguard children, look to SunMed for inspiration. SunMed is a USDA certified organic, soil to oil, US-based company dedicated to modern wellness and science-driven solutions. Our products are exclusively sourced from SunMed. We do not engage in third-party sales or white labeling. All of our offerings are FDA compliant and undergo rigorous third-party testing multiple times before reaching consumers. We invest over $80,000 per month solely on
time.
Sorry. I would like to take questions if possible.
Okay. We just allow him to finish that
Yes,
statement.
I'm good with that. Go ahead and finish that.
Okay, so basically what we're up against is, Mr. Witt, thank you so much. The last time he came in with a whole bunch of products, and it's kind of like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. So I represent the baby. This is a $1 million sleep study that we conducted with our own money. This was to prove that the cannabinoid CBN actually helps us fall asleep and get a deeper sleep and helps with anxiety. We spent $1 million on this study. The stuff that's found in gas stations has already been deemed illegal. It's synthetic marijuana. And I have a store in Orange Beach, Alabama. We work directly with the narcotics officers. This is a kit that you can use to go into these gas stations. You can actually wipe the outside of the packaging and it'll tell you if it's CBD or if it's THC. What we need is enforcement. And I love the idea of bringing a tax on the table because law enforcement doesn't have the money or the resources to do this. And the only way that we're going to do this, I know it sounds crazy that a small business owner is saying, hey, tax me, but I understand that is the only way that we're going to fix this industry is to work with the experts in the field and then create a source of income to fund the officers to actually get these products off the shelves. I don't want to see kids getting sick off of anything. So thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. And I know we've talked, and some of the stores you have are, I thought, trying to do the right thing. Thank you. Ocean Jones.
Hey everybody, my name is Ocean Jones. I'm the proud owner of 4 CBD stores in the state by the name of Healthy Harvest CBD. Our slogan is where help grows because that's what we do. We help people. I'd say about 80% of our clients are over the age of 45. I'm in strong opposition of HB 445 because, and I'm actually glad to hear that there's going to be a hearing or we're going to try to work to amend it later because in its current form as it stands, there's a lot of problems with it. One of those is the arbitrary 5 milligram cap. That will not stop anyone from doing what they want to do. What's going to end up happening is it's going to steer people into the black market. They're going to buy a 50 milligram gummy on the streets for the same price they could buy a 5 milligram gummy, and then it's even more underregulated, even more harmful, and the state gets no tax money from that transaction. The same thing with the ban on inhalables. It's only going to steer people to the streets where they can buy fentanyl-laced marijuana, and that's going to be even more detrimental to the constituents of this state. And another big thing with HB 445 that I strongly oppose is the standalone buildings, because I've seen a lot of my competitors. I'd say about 80% of the CBD stores in this state are not in standalone buildings. So that will gut all of these small family-owned businesses and give what's left to the ABC board. 3 of my 4 stores are not in standalone buildings. So there's just a lot of problems with this bill that we need to fix. A lot of it is just not fair, because alcohol and tobacco, by every single metric, are more harmful than hemp. So we got a few things we got to fix about this. And thank y'all for y'all's time. Thank y'all for hearing me.
Senator Sessions, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question for you. Say you have CBD stores.
Yes, sir.
Are they 21 and only?
They are. Yes, sir.
stores? Okay. The CBD products you sell are they the true hemp CBD products, or are these Delta 8, Delta 9s also?
We have everything that we've ever sold has been a naturally occurring cannabinoid. So we never sold the THCO, which to my knowledge was the only fully man-made cannabinoid. So yeah, everything that we have sold has been a naturally occurring cannabinoid of the highest quality that we could find, basically. I can't speak for everyone in the industry, clearly, but...
But to your knowledge, all CBD stores, you talked about not being a standalone building. And I understand that because you got a strip mall and you're in the middle of that. But your entrance is just a door, and there's no exit other than maybe a back door. So you're really to me, that seems to be a standalone, although it's within other buildings surrounding it.
I would prefer just to have some clarity on that in the bill, and just to protect, myself and the other small business, family-owned businesses that are in this industry, like myself.
But as far as you know, all these other stores across the state that have CBD store on them, they're a 21 and only.
A lot of the ones that I know of, yeah. John's stores I know are, Jen's stores, Canabama, like the more legit players, yeah, it seems to be 21 and up only. I mean, I don't know of any others that do business with people under the age of 21.
Okay. Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right. BJ, is it Altry?
Thank you, Senator Bell.
Thank you.
Yeah. And committee members, thank you so much, and thank you, Chairman Witt. My name is BJ Autry. I own 3 Your CBD stores, SunMed Your CBD stores. We're the largest brick and mortar CBD retailer in the world right now. We have over 400 locations nationally, and we have done everything right from the beginning. We've been in business for 7 years now. We always require 21 and up age restrictions to come into our stores and to purchase anything. Third-party lab tests, our COAs are done thoroughly. Everything that I feel like that Chairman Witt is trying to do here, we are on board with. We take it very seriously. Our customers, we have cancer patients, we have all kind of patients from fibromyalgia, MS, lupus, anything you can think of, pretty much. In physical form that people are dealing with, they're seeing benefits from. So there's a lot of people that are gonna possibly be affected by these bills. So it's important the decisions we make here inside of these bills. I have a 19-year-old and a 23-year-old, both graduates of Hoover High School. So they know about these gas stations and places. Every town has them, I'm sure, in every district that y'all represent. There's always going to be that way. It's probably that same way when I was a kid. You could always find the gas station that's going to sell you cigarettes or alcohol, and it's still that way. And so they know of the ones in Hoover. They know of the other places. Those are the bad actors. Those are not the people we represent. And so we asked for your support. Chairman Witt had a good a lieutenant from City of Trussville come in at the House Committee, and he said, we've already been in your store. You're doing everything right. We'll tell Chairman Witt that and anybody else. So we know that we're doing everything on board. They secret shopped us. You're welcome to test our products any day of the week and twice on Sundays. Okay, well, thank you.
Anybody have any questions? All right. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
And Joey Robertson, the last person.
I'll say thank you to the committee, Mr. Chair. My name is Joey Robertson. I am the managing partner for Wagon Trail Hemp Farms in Coleman County, Alabama. We've been licensed by the Department of Ag and Industry for processing and manufacturing hemp goods products since 2019 and been in good standing since. At Wagon Trail, we've always gone above and beyond any current regulations that were in place. I actually want to thank Representative Witt for putting this bill together. I do see that this bill can be used as a vessel to drive positive reform and getting a law out there that actually does work for not only the business owners of Alabama, but also the manufacturers and also the customers in Alabama. I a lot of times refer to them as patients. To be honest, when I started Waggoner Hemp Farms in 2019, I saw hemp as an opportunity. To be honest, I saw it as snake oil. Since then, I've seen we started making our own products and putting out a product line and also distributing to several of the stores and store owners that you've talked to or heard from today. In doing that, I saw that there is a genuine need for this product. I see that we've always said that there needs to be regulation. What I want to be careful of is not to overstep our bounds, especially while we still wait on medical cannabis to be available in the state of Alabama, that the patients and people that we already deal with are able to get products safely that handle their needs until they have that alternative. I can tell you, countless veterans, countless cancer patients, and I never want to speak of this as a medicine. The FDA would frown upon that. But I do want to say that since we've started this, I've seen veterans walk back from the edge, cancer patients with relief. So please be careful and thoughtful if possible. Form a committee that we can go more deeply into this and get proper regulations at the end of the day.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions? All right, Senator Coleman.
Thank you. My question actually is not for the gentleman. It's more to the chairman when he finishes. Mr. Chair.
Sorry, go ahead.
So you and I talked briefly about doing something on the floor, and I also agree that we need to do something, but also not penalize the folks who are already doing it right. The substitute that you've mentioned, do we already know the elements of the substitute at this point?
I say no. We're doing it kind of like we did the PBM bill, trying to talk with everybody involved, and that's why a lot of the people that come up here and spoke, I've met with, and Pro Tem's office, actually with policy, and Senator Smitherman, and anybody that had a bill, we've made sure they were involved. Senator Sessions and Senator Melson, and just trying to figure out where we're at, where we're going, what we're doing. But we're taking what other states have done and basically looking at everything, and then I hate to say create, kind of like we did with the PBM, create a spreadsheet that looks what pretty much all the senators' wishes are. And we're still probably, hopefully by the end of next week, we'll know what everybody thinks. Or kind of at least have an idea, kind of put that together, and along with Representative Witt, get something together that maybe makes sense. And I hope we have a product that's close to like we did with PBM. As they say in court, a judge tells us if all parties leave feeling a little bit of a sting,
right,
we found the right place. And I hope we can do that. And that's the goal. Whether we meet that goal or not, I don't know. I have no idea, but I think we're going to try hard to meet that goal. And I've met with several of the people that have spoke today. I know myself personally, and I feel like we're trying to do the right thing. And I just don't know where that's going to be and what that's going to be yet.
Okay, let me just put my 2 cents in since
Absolutely.
I'm not a part of that committee. When I look at how the money is going to be distributed ultimately, I also think we should, my opinion, there also should be an education component in there as well, because several of these types of bills, we've talked specifically about young people. And so just thinking about if there's some type of educational piece, PR piece or something, because regardless of how natural it is, it could detrimentally impact some folks. But just thinking about, adding that education piece in there as well.
If you'll do me a favor.
Let me hear it.
If you'll talk with Ashley, with the Pro Tem's office, she's kind of coordinating the spreadsheet,
I'll do that.
coordinating. And I know there's still a lot a lot of information to receive, and it's still a work in progress. But if you'll make sure you get with her and kind of go with her what you think, where you think it should be, and she's putting that together, and she's probably halfway. That's why I think it'll be the end of next week before everybody's kind of talked to and get an idea of where we'll go.
Okay, thank you. I'll do just that.
Senator Sessions.
See, I had a question for this
Okay,
speaker.
go ahead.
Yes, sir.
No, that's fine. Your product, you're growing basically industrial hemp.
Yes, sir.
Or
We
CBD,
have in the past, yes, sir.
cannabinoid. You're making cannabinoid oils, and then
Yes, sir. We have a
and then
we have a
further
processing facility,
processing.
yes.
Now, and you're under USDA guidelines. You're staying with
We've stayed with the Alabama Department of Ag and Industry Hemp Programs guidelines.
so your product's tested and it's below the thresholds
Yes,
of allowable
So
THC.
the Department of Ag and Industry currently does not test finished goods products. Now, I would love it. We've asked actually for years if they would, that they would incorporate finished goods products in.
So your finished good products, how do you get what's in them?
Okay,
You know,
so everything that we do, we send off to third-party labs, okay? Not USD, I'm sorry, DEA certified ISO labs that will test not only the cannabinoid profile, but also anything from heavy metals, pesticides, herbicides, microbials, mycotoxins, water activity. So we know the exact amount of the psychoactive and non-psychoactive cannabinoids that are in each product.
and so in these analyses, I guess my question is, in the analysis of a finished product, is it within the Department of Ag's thresholds?
So the Department of Ag's thresholds have always stopped at raw goods material.
Okay,
We
so
are.
there is no threshold.
There is no threshold for the Department of Ag under finished goods products. Now, 2018 Farm Bill, hemp-derived THC at 0.3% on a dry weight basis. All of our products have always complied with that. Through third-party testing, we put our batches back safely until that testing comes back before we will release that product. And then all of our products are going to have a QR code on that product that's going to show that it is compliant and legal.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Representative Witt.
Mr. Chairman, I
Yes,
move to give the bill a favorable report.
Okay. Sessions, Gavan. Go ahead. Go ahead.
A question. I'm confused. So I heard you say, Mr. Chairman, that we are working on, this is a work in progress. So what are we voting out right now?
Representative Witt's bill, we've got all these other bills. Smitherman's bill, Robert's bill, Weaver's bill, Melson's bill are all voted out. We're voting them, vote Representative Witt's bill, and then that's where we're working, trying to come up with where we're going to be, and kind of go from there. And all, I think everybody has a voice in this. We're just getting the gathering process right now.
So
We've got a lot of bills, like Senator Smitherman bill, his bill, and they went to different committees, and I don't.
So that's okay. I think you just
Yeah,
said.
they went to different committees, so
All right.
all the bills are being held. So we
Okay.
have one bill and one bill only. The House has already passed that bill, so I think we use that as the vehicle and come up with a Senate version. And I know Representative Witt's been in some discussions with some of us up here. Senator Smitherman's been pretty active because he had one of the bills. And hopefully we can come up with one bill that we all kind of agree on and kind of go from there.
Okay.
That's the goal.
Okay, so I think you just answered my question. There have been several bills that you just named.
Correct.
But not all coming out of this committee.
Correct.
They've
I
been
think one was tourism, one was youth and children, one maybe health, and then we did one out of here. So there's four that's come out of four different committees in the Senate.
So the goal of each of those is to.
We're holding all of them, and the goal is to come up with one bill and one bill only, and that's why everything's being held, including this one.
And so the idea is for us to be able to come up with at least some smart regulations that
Correct.
won't.
That's correct.
Yeah,
And have one bill instead of five different bills.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
What you're saying, there's a drug bill in tourism. Think about that for a minute. I can't put the two
I
and two
don't make those. I don't know.
together.
All right. Any questions? All right, I'm gonna voice vote this. All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry.
I actually don't want to, I want to be a no at this point
Okay.
until we have the.
And that's fine. No, We'll put you as a no. We'll see. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All in favor? Say aye. Aye. All right. All opposed? We've got you down. Thank y'all. Thank you,
Thank you,
Representative Witt.
Mr. Chairman. Thank you, committee members. Thank you. Look forward to working with you. Thank you.
She just said that every